but what does it actually take to get one of these in the state of Alabama?
So all told, we spent about $400, but this is what we got.
That's a good whiskey. There's a lot going on there. All right, we are live. Happy to be back. Finally back home after 22 straight days on the road. Got to sleep in my bed last night. Come back a little bit under the weather from the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, but ready to rock and roll here tonight. The intro work, I know, Seth, we were wondering. I was like, there's no way this intro is going to work. But sometimes it does. Sometimes I'm going to have to put some effort into figuring out why sometimes it had a good
long break.
Well, I think it's a video, so I think sometimes it plays to the end and sticks, and then you hit it, and it's just already at the end. And so, it is what it is. This time, it decided to work in our favor. So we got quite a few things to go over today, to talk about, hang out, to try, to drink. We're going to do a little bit of different things here, First, not necessarily first, but one of the things we have to do is we've got a set of 3 different Angel's Envy single barrels right here, and we have to do a barrel pick. So you and I are going to try these 3 and see which one we like best. Now, the problem is, with 2 people, what happens when we don't agree?
I win.
It's not exactly how that's going to work. We're going to have to figure out some way. If it
Don't
comes
y'all
to
agree that if it's a tie, it goes to Jill,
tie goes to Jill.
Tie goes to Jill.
Then I just don't even need to be involved in the pick at all.
No, we need your thoughts. We want your thoughts on it.
I'm going to have in our new, I don't know if y'all can see this. Let's see if we can.
See, Jill. Jill wins. I win. Hello, Allie.
We're gonna set this down right here. I'm gonna show it a little zoom
for your
in.
safety, TJ. Yes.
A little zoom in on this right here. That is the Brewzle Fest Glencairn right there. Really, really nice looking design. And of course, these are included with your Brewzle Fest tickets. So let me see if I can get back to where we were. Look at that. Got it back. So really neat Glencairn. Will did a great job on these for sure.
Yes, he did.
Actually, probably my favorite Glencairn design thus far. Really nice looking one. But I'm going to try, this was one that was requested, I think, from Discord or Patron. I believe I talked about this one in the last video, and this is the Savage & Cooke Bloody Butcher Corn. I bought a Savage & Cooke bourbon. I believe it was in that video. I could be wrong. I don't know why this was requested. I think it was that. I bought this one a while back on the East Coast, that East Coast trip we did, and people wanted to know my thoughts on this one because I like that bottle. The bourbon, not great. Not my thing. This, though, was really nice.
You like this?
Yeah, let me catch up with the chat here. Some of the Angel's Envy single barrels are really good, others not so much. Well, we're going to find out whether or not they sent us a good one here in just a minute. Steve, I have not tasted Weller Millennium, have not been lucky enough for that. I had a guy in Bardstown try to talk me into buy one. He said he'd give me a really good deal on buying it if I would open it. And I was like, well, it's going to have to be a really good deal or we're going to have to find like 100 people. The Glen will go perfectly in the Brewzle lanyard.
Yes,
Tie goes to the runner.
Oh.
I'm running to bourbon more often, see? Logan talking
right,
facts
Logan.
over here.
Then he says, just kidding.
Pouring it down the side of my face.
Don't do that. Oh.
What is it?
I'm going to get my own.
Oh, you going to get your own? Okay. Well, fine then. Nobody wants you to have any of mine anyway.
Well, just
I'm a little sick.
just in case you're sick.
She just realized I'm a little under the weather. And so, now, what I normally get on Bloody Butcher Corn, a lot of them out there. Jeff the Creed. I've tried 3 or 4 different Bloody Butcher Corns. And most of the time, they have a real, like, super dusty flavor to them. And what was surprising about this one is that it does not have a super dusty flavor to it. Now, I don't have the most robust palate today, but sweetness, soft little hint of maybe cinnamon on it, like not really pronounced, like on the kind of on the back of the palate, the top of the palate. What do you think?
That's good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Surprisingly
that
good
on
for a
the-
small producer.
on the
Well, this is
finish?
wine. This is wine finished. So this one is. Of course, I've made it even worse. I've turned the lights behind us above all. Heirloom bloody butcher corn, red winter wheat. So it is a wheater,
Ooh.
and it is malted barley. I thought this was wine finished. I thought all their stuff was wine finished.
Man, that's
Maybe
good.
not. This one may not be wine finished. Literally thought every bottle they put out was wine because these folks own a vineyard. Apparently not. Apparently this one is the one thing they do that's not wine finished. So
It's very nice, though.
that's a nice bottle for sure. Dudson, please wish Matt D a get well. Matt, I'm a little under the weather as well, and I hope you start feeling better extremely quickly. Bounce back, man. Puke and rally. What do you think? What are your tasting notes on that?
I definitely get some cinnamon. It's a little
It's
spicy.
Just, but it's like not like you would normally get a cinnamon, not like an Amburana cinnamon. It's just like a little bit the way it
Muted.
affects the back
Yeah.
of your palate a little bit. Yeah, kind of interesting. Let's see. Somebody said here, Eric Church Jack Daniels for $65. That's definitely I mean, it's just Jack single barrel proof, but they're semi-collectible because they're not making them anymore. I didn't give you long enough to respond. Somebody sent us a message that I cut you off too much. So they don't realize I know when you're done, but
Yeah.
sorry, you give your tasting notes.
No, I was done.
No. I want you,
But I was done.
please continue.
But what do you want me to say? Because I was done.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not getting accused of cutting you off. Okay.
I was done. You just did it again.
No.
That's okay.
Udius with the super chats. Appreciate the support. That one got a little solid in it. Got a little piece of cork in that one. That cork must not be too great.
There's something on the finish.
Randall,
though.
Weller Millennium Brewzle, GoFundMe. Appreciate the support there, Randall. That'll get almost that. I'm not sure that'll buy the plastic wrap that goes on that bottle. Daniel says, are you going to open up tiers? Well, there should be an announcement, imminent announcement. It might be today, it might be tomorrow,
Imminent.
around the release. I would expect, I can't say for sure, I would expect after this next release, which is coming up very, very soon, that there's a really strong chance that some tiers will be opened up. They won't be just a free-for-all, but there will be some openings. We will see how this drop goes. We're going to release even more barrels. I think the most barrels we've ever released, I believe it may not be.
Wow.
I think it's the most bottles. It's a lot of bottles. We're releasing a lot of freaking bottles. And we'll see how the drop goes, and then we'll evaluate. But it seems very, very strong. Yes, there'll be a merch tent, Dustin. We'll have the merch tent at Turtle Creek Wine and Spirits. So next Saturday, we're both going to be at Turtle Creek over near Athens, Georgia. What is it, Town Creek or something?
Bethlehem,
something like
Georgia?
Bethlehem, Georgia. I think that's right. Yeah. Little baby Jesus in his sweet little Turtle Creek manger. No, they're too far. Okay. Bethlehem, Georgia. We're going to be over there at Turtle Creek. And then October 12th, Brewzle Festival. And there'll be a merch tent at both of those. So how's the Howling Mob? That's the other thing from them. I'll go grab it here in just a second.
From these people?
I can't even drink it. That's what I'm doing.
They have a Howling Mob?
Yeah, Howling Mob is the bourbon that I bought.
Oh. Ooh.
So apparently for Dale, it's really dark. Is it really dark for everybody? Because it looks just freaking fine for us. Like, is his monitor turned really? You know, is it really down, or is it just him?
I don't know.
What's up, ADHD Whiskey? Matt Porter in the chat.
Hey, Matt. Their label is so cool.
They've got another label that's really ugly though. If that makes you feel better. I'm assuming this is the new label.
This is awesome.
Their old label just looks like a kindergartner threw it together.
This looks like almost like a linen fabric. It's a fabric label.
Yeah, it is
That's
kind of.
cool.
It kind of feels like a fabric.
Yeah. Now this part's just paper, but this part is fabric.
Yeah.
That's fancy.
Anybody that wants to see it, that's the.
I like that.
I will quick play this over there. That's the label.
See the linen? Man.
All right, so I'm going to
I
start
don't know what it looked like before, but
we're going to use the
they stepped it up a notch. That's cool.
Bourbon Hunter tumblers here. I'm going to start a little infinity blend I'm going to try later on in the evening. So after we're done with the pour, goes into the infinity blend. At the end of the evening, I'm going to try no flavored whiskeys, please.
No flavored whiskey.
Let's try this Howling. I think this is what they were talking about. The Howling Mob.
Just a tiny bit.
I do not recall. You just poured into the infinity batch there, babe.
I know.
Darling. Adam McIntyre, it was an absolute pleasure chatting at KBF a few times. Absolute class act, and I appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate you, Adam. Had a great time at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Met an awful lot of folks for the first time. Saw some folks again that we've met in other festivals and get-togethers. But it was a blast. I don't think, like, you would have been overwhelmed with how many people asked about you.
Aw. People ask about me?
Yes.
That's sweet. Yeah, I probably would have been overwhelmed.
Yeah, this smells awful.
This does?
Smells like a Christmas tree.
I like the way Christmas trees smell.
Well, I mean, I don't like to drink them, though.
No. Pine trees.
It's better on the palate. It's still a little mini. It's not as bad as I remember it being. So, kudos to that.
Oh, speaking of pine trees.
It is
some little baby pine trees growing out there that need to be removed before we have big, huge more pine trees. It just came in my brain. I had to say it. Sorry. Moving on.
Random. I'm trying a whiskey. I'm
It
trying
was
to do a
totally
review.
random.
Just like, let me tell you about these pine trees I found.
They're in our yard.
It's got a lot of rye spice. See if it tells anything about the... Watch, it'll have no rye on it, but it definitely hits me like a lot of rye. It just says heirloom howling mob corn and malted barley, but it hits me like a rye. Wow, so howling mob corn is a weird thing. What do you think?
That's not my favorite. There's a weirdness there.
It's strange to me that it has no rye spice in it, though, because it tastes
But
very
I do
rye
see
forward.
rye. I do taste rye.
I'm not a huge fan of that one.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not like, oh my God, that's completely and totally the worst thing I've ever tasted. But also, like, the flavors of that corn, not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, me either.
Rick, have you ever tried anything from Glens Creek Distillery on the site of the Old Crow Distillery, just down the road from Castle and Key? I do not believe I have. You can name their brands, but I do not believe I've tried anything from them. Got my Dr. Pepper rinse. All right, so we're going to start. Let's do the Angel's Envy pick, and then we'll do your mixed drink that you want to make. Okay? You good with that?
Yep.
Because I don't want my palate swayed by whatever you decide to do mixed drink-wise.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
I have a theme. It will last for several live streams.
You think?
Just saying, my theme behind my mixed drinks. I don't know if this is going to become a segment or not, but like
They will decide.
it's in my brain. It was an idea that came up. You know, you can either go with it. Like, if you don't want to be participating in it, you can use that time to go to the bathroom, get a drink. I don't know, whatever, take a break. But you know, like our podcast we listen to when we're like on the road, like Murder with My Husband?
Yeah.
And he gets like, her husband is really like her telling the stories, her doing the stuff. And she gives him like, what, 15 minutes? I don't know, so 10 minutes to like just talk. No, she's not giving 2. It's not 2 minutes.
It's only a 45-minute podcast.
It's longer than that. But anyway, I don't need 15. Don't worry. But he gets like time to do and say what he wants. This is Jill's time.
Jill's going to get her time,
Jill
okay?
gets her time.
She's going to get her time. And again, a lot of folks complaining
Is
about...
bourbon related?
A lot of folks complaining about the ads. I didn't change any settings in the ads.
No.
I don't know if YouTube's getting a little greedier or what, but it's still like conservative ads showing. Four Roses. Angel's Envy has a very nice box. Now,
Very nice box.
they give you a little string here to get the bottles out, but the string's all pushed down behind it, so you can't get to it to get the bottles out. So, little snafu there, but you know,
But you got them out.
it's got strings. They're just back here for some reason. But we were able to make it work. Very 10 out of 10 presentation here from Angel's Envy then. Very nice situation. Had the, you know, very nice box.
Pretty box.
With the lid. And then it had bottles that I've already taken out, and I should have shown y'all right there. But I wasn't thinking. And then that box is
Whoa.
gone, and now we have very pretty little sample bottles. Very elaborate.
What does this remind me
Says
of?
stuff on the back. These are like little flasks. Like, this is crazy. Like, these are bottles you keep and do something with.
Yeah.
They're so nice.
But they remind me of something that I've seen in the past.
It's engraved on the back, too.
That's
Let's get a
cool.
little close up here.
Private
please.
selection single
See
barrel.
if y'all can see that
That's
engraving there. Very, very nice. Seem to be random. Some streams I get ads every 10 minutes. Some streams, weird. And then I didn't see anybody mention the lights. So I don't know if it's just him or lights are fairly well the same, other than that one person that was complaining about it. It does look like a cologne bottle with this lid on them, though.
Maybe
that is
that's
very
what
true.
it is.
It is like a, if it had
Like
a
a
nice,
Stetson? Was it Stetson that used to have?
we gotta look at a Stetson bottle. I don't know. I'm sure that's what your dad was rocking.
That's what I'm thinking. It was my dad's cologne bottle.
All right.
That's what I was. That's
I
the
gotta look it up.
memory
I gotta look it up.
that went into my brain was my dad's cologne
not
bottle.
exactly.
No,
I mean, not too dissimilar, but not exactly.
not exactly.
Yeah, Stetson's little different than that.
Yeah,
but not
okay.
too dissimilar. Close enough.
Yeah.
All right, so grab your 3 Glens over there, and you'll have to forgive my coughing here. It was nice to meet you as well, Amy. Lights are fine.
Amy!
I mean, some folks just got the brightness turned down. Did I like Wichita or Tulsa more? I mean, I don't know if I like one or the other. Anytime I get Weller Antiques, that's always a good thing. So, you know, I tend to like those hunts. After that, it's, you know, fun time with fun folks. All right, so let's see. What does this say? Anything about this barrel? These are all similar. Port wine. This one was,
They're all
prepared.
the
Tells me the date it was prepared. Doesn't tell me anything else about it. So 110 proof.
They're all 110 proof.
Yep. So not a lot of info here. We just gotta like it or not. When is the next event? Turtle Creek Wine and Spirits is next Saturday. So doing that one for sure. And then October 12th is Brewzle Fest. So if you haven't grabbed your Brewzle Fest tickets, do so. I'm sure somebody will drop the link. Would love to see you at that.
That's
We're
gonna
gonna
be
have
a
a good
good
time.
time.
We've got those barrel-aged beers from Red Clay being kegged up right now. We've got our own whiskey we're going to be releasing at that event. That'll be a good time. And then we've got we've got a bunch of distilleries already locked in, and we got even more reaching out right now to see if they can get in. If you discriminate against MGP, then okay. All right. Nobody discriminating against MGP. MGP's just fine. It's good whiskey, some of it. Plan on coming back to Missouri in the future. At some point, sure, but I don't know when. I mean, we got to get back out to Wichita here pretty soon for some stuff, but I don't know if we'll have a whole lot of time for hunting. All right, fairly even. All right, so keep them in that order.
Okay.
Do not change the order, because that is where these are right here. And now we just need to rank them, give your thoughts on them.
We're starting right here.
I'd love to get an Evernorth pick at some point, Rick. Yep, start either direction, babe. I need a sort order. That's all I need.
Gotcha.
Haven't had a ton of balcony stuff. I like New Riff. We don't mention a ton of it in our videos, but I do like a lot of the stuff I've had. Blue Note Uncut this weekend. Nice. Already forgot the order. I agree, Natty Witt. I agree. Ever get around to trying that Springbank 15 yet? No. I also bought a Springbank 18, but I gave it away. I saw him met Uncle Nate, and I actually gave it to him. This is actually really
I
nice.
know. I'm super jealous.
What?
You got to meet Uncle Nate in person.
He does exist. I was beginning to wonder, but he does exist. Jacob wants an update on the app. I was told that Code Complete would be sometime next month, and we'll start rolling in beta testers. I got to find this week. I'm rolling in about 5 folks to start adding data to it, but we're probably going to drop it to patrons sometime later this year to start beta testing. Own several dogs, couple dogs there, Tommy. That is better than I remember Angel's Envy being. My God, that is just like that is a cherry bomb. I
totally got cherry on the first one.
Yeah, that's.
But it almost got like a sweet tea type of finish, not maybe a sweet tea, but there's some tea notes.
Well, that's probably the dryness of the port, maybe. I don't have anything I see where you could get that. I see where you can get that. A little bit. That's pretty nice though.
Yeah, I like it.
Dustin, how did the 2-bitch bourbon go? That drop went okay. I mean, not as many folks interested in it as I thought, but that's just the nature of the beast. Squat is a plant for Will. Isn't it? Or, no, it was Snoop Dogg. Sorry, Snoop Dogg is a Will plant. That must be one of Will's friends.
He really is wanting Will on more videos, but
I agree. Will should be on more.
You got to talk to Will about that because
Will lives 2 hours away. If Will was closer, Will would go on the road. Will would be in more videos. But Will lives for 2 hours away and has a little family of his own. He's got to take care of.
We are all for Will and Lexi and Isla moving here. We're good for that. We support that idea.
Okay, that's a clear order for me. First time through. I'm going to go back through, but this is not even close.
Not even close, huh?
Not even close. Will on his Alta count, exactly. Exactly. Tried Rebel 100, that's pretty good.
He's probably got Isla over there texting on it.
For the price, Rebel 100 is really good. Come to ASW and pick some Fiddler. I'm sure that's going to happen at some point. I'm not a huge stave finish, and a lot of their stuff stave finished. Although we have done some stave finish stuff now, so we've got to maybe we need to expand our horizons a little bit there.
Ooh.
Raggle Fraggle, been watching our stuff and doesn't even drink. Appreciate it. Well, thank you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Is Old Carter worth the money for the bourbon? Old Carter's really good. I do like it, but that $200 price point's tough. There's so many good things below that $200 price point. So I like it, but it's kind of tough. Michael Barkas, what else is Frey Ranch Uncut? The grain forward on this is so different than anything I've had. I like the higher proof. Honestly, there's nothing that super compares to that. I would say the closest thing are some of the Willet Purple Tops, but those are more exclusive and even harder to get than a Frey. I have not hunted Iowa yet, Gabe. So do you have a clear order here, Jill?
Not 100% clear.
Okay. Smoke Wagon Uncut just like Frey? I don't think so. I don't think so, Adam. They taste much different, man. I mean, Smoke Wagon is MGP, so it's not going to be near as grain forward as the Frey Ranch Uncut is. Not saying it's not good, not saying it's not equal. That's, not what I'm trying to imply. I'm just trying to say not the same thing from a tasting experience. Top 3 Gulf Coast distilleries. Gulf Coast distilleries. So I'm assuming Gulf Coast states. If you're just talking about states that touch the Gulf Coast, So you're talking about what? Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. Those 4. Trying to think if there's anything in Florida I love. Nothing yet. There's a lot of distilleries in Florida I haven't tried. St. Augustine, okay, but I don't think that's going to be top 4. Alabama, you know, Detling makes a fine product. It's not to my flavor profile. Clyde Mays is a really nice product, but that's technically not distilled here yet, so can't count them. Crittenton's probably be top 4. Still Austin is going to be in there as far as my tastes go. At that point, you probably, like, who else is there that's going to be, like, really good bourbon from, you know, you probably throw, like, Garrison Brothers or somebody in there, but you got to like that. You got to like that flavor profile. So it's probably, you probably have to then roll back to Detling. Like, I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody in Texas is so big. I'm sure there's some distillery I'm just not even thinking of from Texas, but there you go. Horrible answer. Where's the Kentucky Owl? I'm going to try that Kentucky Owl here in just a minute. I forgot to get it down, but it's sitting right over there on the shelf. We're going to grab that here in JT Millick. That's not bourbon. So, you know, if you're not talking about bourbon, then yes, that would count for sure. I like some JT Millick. Rice whiskey, really good stuff. My father-in-law got me a Woodford Double Oaked bottle as a gift. I really enjoy the flavor, but struggle with the burn. Well, Woodford Double Oaked is not a very high-proof whiskey. So one of the things I do that is really hard to explain to folks is when you have a pour whiskey, try to give you my technique a little bit here that I use, and this may not work for you, and professionals may tell you that this is awful. I don't really care what professionals think. This is how I do it, and it works for me. But you get a pour, and when I go to swallow, I'm going to push my tongue up to the top of my mouth, like, you know, like that. And I'm going to swallow. And that helps it miss some of those receptacles that are just going to get heat. And I get all the flavor down the middle of the tongue. And so that dissipates a lot of the heat from me. But if 90 proof Woodford Double Oaked is too hot for you, it's probably in technique, or you just need to get accustomed to drinking whiskey neat, because it's not like most other whiskeys are just going to be worse for you.
I'm struggling.
You on the struggle bus? Because it was clear as day to me. Like, it wasn't even close.
There's 2 that are close for me. They're doing different things, and I don't know which one tonight is what I would pick as my favorite.
Okay. And for those that have just arrived, we are doing a single barrel of Angel's Envy here. And honestly, one of these is one of the better Angel's Envies I've ever had.
Let's do this. Let's put out our last one.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
1, 2,
3.
3.
The middle one, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's my last one.
And that's by far the last one. That's by far the worst one. Yeah. That one is what I get with a lot of Angel's Envy. Like, their more regular product, I get like, it's like a harsh burnt sugar, it's almost like burnt hair. You ever smelled burnt hair?
Yeah, I burned my hair earlier.
Does it smell like this? It's like a harshness that's just...
Yeah. I get that. Maybe not. My hair smells worse when I burn it with the coloring iron, but I get that, what you're saying. Yeah, that's not my favorite at all. That's like my least. That one's not even in the contention for...
Thomas, don't be giving any clues here, okay? Don't be giving any clues.
I'm not looking at his glasses.
Tim, my wife needs to borrow the charger. To your phone, to your laptop, my Dodge charger. I don't know which one.
My wife needs to borrow the charger.
But if she's talking about my Dodge charger, I would love to let her borrow it, but it wouldn't start today because the battery's running low. So Next time, maybe. Next time. All right, so we're on the same page there.
Give me a minute.
Hey, babe, you take all the minutes you want. We got all night. Who's in a hurry? I do love these little flash bottles, though. This is freaking awesome.
They are cool.
Sipping on some Russell's 10 tonight. Wish I could get my hands on some Frey. I've not seen it here in northern Kentucky yet.
You know what I love?
I don't know if I've seen it in Kentucky either, but I hope you can find some, Taylor.
I love my Brewzle Orca.
You like the Orcas?
Mm-hmm.
See,
It keeps my water very
I got
cold.
this Orca. These are the Bourbon Hunter Orcas that are going to be in the next drop. I don't really want to put the burnt heroin in there. I'm going to, but I don't want to put the burnt hair in there. These other two, not burnt hair. What's up, Steel Funky? You ever come to North Carolina? William, I was just up in Charlotte, but they won't let us film, so I hunted South Carolina technically. Did you mess up? Dan on the Russell's 10, asking Taylor. Russell's 10 is pretty freaking good. And Tim is saying the Dodge. Jonathan Stockdale, what's your favorite bottle from Ben Holladay? Recently found a soft red wheat, rickhouse proof, and really enjoyed it. So this is the order for me. I prefer the soft red wheat just barely over the bourbon. Just barely. Both really nice. I prefer a single barrel rickhouse proof of either of those, and then a rickhouse proof of either of those, and then the normal bonded version of them. So I will take a single barrel rickhouse proof bourbon over a rickhouse proof wheat, if that makes sense, right? So it's like, 1A, 1B all the way down the list, but single barrels over rickhouse proofs over the regular release. You're really on the struggle bus. I'm on the struggle bus too. I'm about to cough. What is the Cave collection like? Honestly, I haven't found anything from the Cave collection of Ben Holladay I just absolutely love. They're aging it in a cave. It doesn't get a ton of barrel impact. Like, they're trying to do really, really subtle finishes, which I oftentimes like, but I think it needs a little more. So I haven't had anything Cave collection that just blew me away yet. I mean, some of them are fine. They're not bad. They're just like, nothing worth seeking out over the normal release stuff. And Marty, I haven't had any K-Luke since the early stuff, I guess a year or two ago, but it was really good. Do you have thoughts, concerns, ideas?
Yeah, I don't know which one to pick. That's my thoughts and my concerns and my ideas, because I happen to like them both. And I'm not sure which one just wins tonight. I have to pick one, right? They can't tie?
Just pick one, yes.
Okay.
Starter rye to try. Michter's. Get a Michter's rye. We will be at Turtle Creek. Sebastian says, I'm skipping one here. Thinking about stopping at the Jack Daniel's Distillery on our cross-country trip. Have you been? Do you think it's worth it? And any tips? If you're going near there, it's a great tour. It's really polished. Like, it's really more of a tourism tour, but you'll still really, really enjoy it. Like, it's a great little area, great small town, completely centered around Jack Daniel's. Sebastian Samuel says fiance wants a meet and greet with Jill at Brewzle Fest. Jill and I will be doing a meet and greet for VIPs when we release the Oak Bowery brand for them a little, earlier in the day. But obviously, we'll be roaming around the festival. I'm sure there'll be plenty of time for meeting and greeting.
Yep, just come up and say hi. Okay, I'm almost done.
Apparently not. Has Will ever been on a barrel pick with you? Has Will been on a barrel pick? Which one?
He was just on Starlight.
He was on Starlight. Yeah. But not anything
All
that's
right,
been on video.
I got it now. It just hit me.
You locked in? Okay, let's catch up here. So Chris says, sipping on some, oh, no, sorry, I skipped Roberts. Enjoying the content, what's been your favorite and most interesting bottle branding you've seen in the wild? Interesting bottle branding is a fun way of putting it. I mean, obviously you got like Willet Pot Still, you've got Blanton's, you know, you've got like really, really unique bottles. I think some of the smartest branding lately has just been beautiful bottle, simplification, the James Pepper decanter, probably, you know, the best example of good branding on that. The perfume bottle for the Beyonce whiskey.
Oh, where's that? You said you got me that.
It's upstairs in the
okay.
box. So that one's like, you know, it's
You've tried
interesting. Yeah, it's okay. It's not great. It's not bad. All right, Chris Lamb sipping on some Frey Ranch Farm Strength Uncut tonight. That's great bourbon, hands down one of my favorite YouTube channels. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you watching. Tried Weller Antique 107 this weekend for the first time. This weekend, lots of weekends in that one. Made my top 3 list right away. Thanks for the suggestion, Sharpline. That's because it's a fantastic bottle. What kind of food can I buy at Brewzle Fest? We are going to have 3 food trucks in the event. We are still waiting for confirmation on which 3 food trucks that's going to be. But we're gonna have some food trucks. There's gonna be there's restaurants around as well.
Yep.
But we're gonna have some food trucks on the inside. We've got feelers out. I think the guy we've got helping with that has got some tentative lock-in on that, I believe. But I'm meeting with him tomorrow to get some confirmation. So I should know a little more about that after tomorrow. Any help on a bottle of Crittenden's Pecan Finish? We are in Georgia. I do not have a backup bottle of Pecan Finish, but, you know, give Spillway a call and see if they still have any. I'm not sure. I'm sure they'll bring more of it out. You know, may not be this batch, but I believe they'll bring more and more of it out. But we had it in our last drop. It all sold through, and I only got 1 bottle, and it's open behind me. So, all right, Jill, where you at? Your number 1.
My number 1 is number 1.
Which one's that? Okay. Because like 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. I didn't know.
Yeah, this one.
That was my winner by far. Like, not even close. Like,
I thought
honestly,
it was closer than that. I really did, because this one was giving me a little bit more like caramelly, dark fruit, like candied, like, you know, almost like when you reduce like caramel in a pot, that kind of gets a little burnt, but not real burnt. You know, it's just like.
Yeah, but it's just got a harshness to it.
Really? I don't think so at all.
It's like that in Hairspray.
No, I thought it had a little more heat on it than the other one. A little more proof, even though it doesn't.
Yeah, same
it just it felt
Okay.
more like that. That's what I got from it. But ultimately, I went with this one.
This is just a cherry bomb right here.
Yeah, it is.
If all 3 were like this one,
it's delicious.
I would have just had to send them back and tell them, no, thank you. Please don't send any more samples. Like, that's not great. And that's like probably not to that level of strength, but that's what I remember from some of the Angel's Envy I've had in the past. If they if they all tasted like this, I would be a fan.
We picked this.
That's what we just did, baby.
I'm just want to make sure we get yes, but
okay.
I wasn't sure because we normally go on site to pick barrels. So I was just.
We bought that. Okay. I mean, we haven't yet.
I was just asking.
You got time to change your mind.
I mean, we normally go to the place.
Sometimes.
Most of the time. Like all the time, really.
Not all the time, but this is the first time I've let you in on these samples. We don't normally do them on live streams. Mm-hmm. And when we have, I think you weren't here. So this one's just a cherry bomb.
This one's
that's
good.
Delicious. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you agreed, because apparently tie goes to you. Mm-hmm. Oh, you got to try this Kentucky Owl, but we're going to do your mixed drink first. Jill's going to make us a mixed drink, and I'm going to try and rate her mixed drink. I hope it's good, because if I don't say good things about it, I'm going to be in the doghouse.
No, it's fine if you don't say good things about it.
All right, sipping on a Green River Foolproof. How can you beat it for the price you can't? And I think Green River, once they have aged product, like once they're putting out 8-year, 10-year, 12-year-old products, if they could keep those price points, I mean, obviously they'll go a little more expensive, but like if comparatively the price goes up, dude, that might be one of my favorite distilleries. I already love their cash strength so much. Nice orange peel, nice fruit forwardness. $50 for a cash strength release. Like it's really hard to compete with Green River right now. A couple of first-time super chatters. Got one from somebody with the man with no name.
Ooh, the man with no name.
Yeah, does the name show up over there? Nope.
No.
The man with no name. And Nicole Morgan. Appreciate the support.
Thank you. All right, is it my turn now? Is it Jill's?
Yes, I need to document this while you're doing that.
Jill's what? Jill's 5? I don't know. I probably need more than 5 minutes. But I will say, this is like a disclaimer. Like if this is the time where you want to walk away and you want to go get you another pour of something or you need to go to the bathroom, feel free. You're not going to offend me. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Why are you trying to run everybody off?
I'm not. I just know that some of the people that watch us do not care for my little tangents I go off on about a particular singer who I obviously love and who I have decided that this is what my series of drinks is going to be about for the next...
Today.
I think let's see. Not today.
What's that after day? What's that after day?
I'm going through with this. I'm getting all of them done. No, this is my thing. I get to do it.
Go for it, babe.
Okay? So basically,
just don't tell everybody this is going to be boring. Go leave and get a drink. Just do it. Just have a good time.
I wasn't saying.
And if folks don't like it,
I was trying to be considerate.
If folks don't like it, it's cool.
I was just trying to be considerate.
There's Monday Night Football.
Right? I was trying to be considerate because I know sometimes they don't like it. So basically what I'm going to do for my drinks is I have made a drink tonight for the it's going to be all the eras tour. Like all the eras in Taylor Swift's
I'm going to go get
eras.
a drink.
You're leaving.
Well, you said if I was bored, go get a drink. I'm just grabbing
Oh my gosh! I didn't expect you to start out that way. Anyway, so my first drink is for, of course, Taylor's first ever album, Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. That was the name of it. Some people call it debut, but like it's Taylor Swift. And just like to let you know like what I was thinking about when I was thinking about the ingredients for this drink. So she released this album in 2006. It was her first album, so it was a country album. Obviously, when she came out, she was a country artist, and her first like big hit was Tim McGraw. So when I'm thinking about all this, I'm thinking about country, and I'm thinking about youthful, because she was like 16 years old. She was in high school. So I was thinking about the ingredients, because I've done this with every one of them. So all of the eras, I have thought about these drinks, and the ingredients that should go into the drinks, because I am making them up on the go. And I'm not good at making drinks. I have discovered that. That's what I'm going to say. What I've learned about this is I want to take a class on mixology, because I have no clue. Like, I really don't. I am not good at this. This is not my thing to do. I'm not versed in making mixed drinks. But this is what I did. Okay, so when I was thinking about ingredients, I was thinking about the country. I grew up in the country. I'm a country girl. So what's more country than...
You, nothing.
Lemonade, right? Lemonade or sweet tea. You're going to go with one or the other. But I tried the sweet tea. It just didn't do it for me. So we went with lemonade. And we've got Milo's lemonade here. I don't know if that's the right brand to do it. There may be other lemonades that are better. I don't know. But this is the one I went with. And so we're going to use, I think this is 1.5 ounces. See, that's how bad I am.
Just do it.
I don't really know. But I think this is 1.5 ounces. So I'm going to do 2 of these. So that's 3 ounces of Milo's lemonade into your shaker. There you go. You know, just use some of the Brewzle math in this. You just like put stuff in a in a shaker and you go on about your business. And if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not, right? All right, so that's our lemonade. And, of course, in order to make a bourbon cocktail, got to have bourbon, right? So I was thinking about, like, what bourbon could I put into this drink to represent this album? And there were several I went to, but ultimately, when I think of the South country, I think of, like, Jack Daniels. Like, that's the one I go to. Youth, like most youth, like if you're in high school, just saying.
We cannot say those things on
Not
the internet,
youth.
baby. You got to dial it.
Not
when
youth.
You're 21.
When you're 21.
Like Taylor's favorite number.
Like Taylor's favorite.
Right?
No,
Yeah.
her number is way less than that.
Okay.
But when you're 21
Yeah.
and you first can finally drink something, it's usually Jack Daniels, I would think, in the South,
That's what
in
got
our
us
area.
into it. Yep.
So
Like somebody said Boone's Farm before that, but.
Oh yeah, well, I remember that too. But I was 21. And so now we're going to do 1.5 ounces of Jack. Is that normal? Is that too much or too less? I don't
It's
know.
your mixed drink, babe. You
Okay.
know.
Well,
I'm
we're
sure
doing it. We're
I'm
going
sure
with 1.5
Taylor-
ounces.
I'm sure Taylor put some whiskey down. So.
I don't know. We're going with 1.5 ounces. Okay. So now the reason I chose this next ingredient is because also in Taylor Swift's eras, you pretty much have a color for every album, like every era. And so the album basically it's like a blue-green, like in that family somewhere of blue-green. And I was trying to figure out, like, well, how can I make it that color? And what I came up with was blue curacao. Like, it can turn it that color. Green, blue, blue-green, like the ocean. So we're going to go with 1 ounce of that. Don't y'all just love learning how to mix from Jill? Because
She's a professional mixologist.
professional proof queen mixologist here. That's what we're doing.
A lot of thought went into this recipe.
A lot of
Hey, Ron.
a lot of thought. Look, I got notes, people.
Oh, God. That's how these Swifties do.
Look.
Okay? Album comes out. We got to have a whole history of breakdown of every word.
Look at this. I have got notes. Okay? I wrote notes about this. There
But they
was
can't see
a
that.
lot. There was a lot of thought that went into this. So, all right. So now, okay. So I originally muddled pineapple into the bottom of the glass, but TJ didn't like the pineapple stuff that I
She was
had
giving me some
floating
of her
around.
tests, and
Yeah, the test.
It had solids in
It
it.
had
man.
pineapple floating around, so he didn't like that. So then I just went to a splash of pineapple juice.
Okay.
Okay? That way you don't have any pineapple flakes. Splash.
Big splash.
That's a splash.
Big splash. Mike says my wife is sitting next to me and watching. He says, "Oh my God, this is so fun."
See?
She loves
Thank
Jill.
you.
And we lost about 100 viewers.
Oh no, 100.
But
Oh
then
no.
50 people have come back to replace them.
Oh, okay, good.
Well,
All right,
now
we're
nine
good.
just left again. So
Okay.
it's, we're close. We're close.
We're getting there.
Nashville, who knows what's going on? Jill is making a mixed drink, okay?
Yes.
She's working on a mixed drink.
It's all about Taylor Swift's eras.
I'll tell you about these
This is
whiskeys.
the first one.
I'll tell you about these whiskeys after she's done with her
This
mixed
is her
drink, okay?
first era Taylor Swift. The original album. Thank you very much. All right. And so, also, like country, like southern honey. So I had to pick a honey. I have 2 favorite honeys. You're not gonna, well, you might know one of them. The first one is my friend's honey. They have bees, and it's the Bourbon honey. I have no more of that left, so I can't use that in my drink. But I do have some Frey Ranch honey that I got from Frey when we went to our barrel pick, and I have babied this honey. I don't let anybody ever hardly have any of it. So
Big honey.
it is thick. It's I forgot the.
Robert asked if I'm one of your favorite honeys.
You are my favorite honey. You are. Besides Frey Ranch and the Bourbon honey. Now my hands are very sticky. All right, so now we got all that. All right, hold on. This is my water cup. This is the one that has ice in it. You would think that we could do this better. We have a bar in there. Why are we like struggling?
A bar in here.
Yeah, not really. All right, so there's some ice. And look, I made this cute little garnish. Look at there. That's cute. It's a pineapple, some lemon, and a cherry that I found upstairs. I hope I didn't open something that I shouldn't have opened, but I found it. And all right, and then you shake it.
Don't know what you opened.
Something you brought back from the Bourbon Festival.
Oh, it must have been in the bag they gave us. I don't know
Well,
anything about any
it's
cherries.
open now. All right, there we go. Now look how pretty this color
Have
is.
you named the drink, Jill?
It's just the
21.
Swift.
It's called 21. What's the name of the album?
Taylor Swift. It's just Swift. It's the Swift.
Well, making it has not been swift.
Okay. Yes, it has. Thomas. Ooh. Look how pretty that is. Okay, you gotta admit, that's pretty. The color's pretty. If I don't get anything else right, and I'm probably not, the color, good. Presentation, wonderful. Look at that. Come on now. Is that not?
Should have got an ice ball.
I didn't have any.
They're in the freezer in there.
Okay, well, let me
Bunches of them.
take a picture of my drink real quick. This is my first in my Era series drinks. And
The first of many.
I'm pretty proud of it. I'm just telling you. I wish you could all taste it. I'll put the recipe up if anybody wants to try it and perfect it.
Okay. All right. Little aroma. It smells nice with this on top. I got to get this out of the way.
Yep.
Do I put this in there?
You can. Go ahead.
Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Sure,
Okay.
yep. Mm-hmm.
Adriana says, Jill's bringing more women to bourbon.
Aw.
We love Jill.
I love
Thank
you
you,
too.
Adriana.
Thank you.
Okay, you let me try some of your trials.
Mm-hmm.
I would admit this is the best of the trials.
The best of the trials.
This is better than the trials you let me try.
Okay.
You gotten better.
I've gotten better.
There's some complexity there. There's nice sweetness to it. I feel like it needs a little more counterbalance. Like maybe you've got the lemonade, maybe some lemon juice instead of lemonade would have been better. Like it needs a little more tartness to it or something to balance all that sweetness out. But otherwise, really good. It's actually if it had a little more tartness, it would actually be really, really good.
Chris has more booze.
More booze.
I was
Maybe
scared to
more
put
alcohol.
more in there. I don't know. Like, is 1.5 or 2? Is that normal? I don't know.
1.5 is just fine, typically,
Okay.
for a mixed drink. All right. Have you ever tried anything from Whiskey Acres, Illinois? I have a bottle of Whiskey Acres. It's not wonderful, but that bottle is probably 4 or 5 years old now. So it was, really, really young stuff from them. I probably need to get something more up to date for sure.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
That's actually it's
That ain't
the ones
bad.
you were doing upstairs were not good. That one's getting there. That's pretty close.
It is missing. There's just something slightly missing. If anybody has any, thoughts.
I just told you.
On
My
how-
thoughts. You don't want them.
Yeah, I did. I love
Lemon
your
juice
thoughts.
instead of lemonade, or maybe lemon juice and lemonade. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it would be okay
Or maybe a
without the
stronger
lemonade.
lemonade. Maybe a stronger lemonade.
Yeah, I think Milo's is a little not.
Yep.
It's not as tart as other lemonades. So
There
a
you go.
tartar lemonade,
Okay.
right? Is that what
Yes,
you're saying?
yes,
A more
very much
tart
so.
lemonade.
Wife says do a Disney series next.
Oh, I would love to. Been trying to get that.
All right. Let's try some whiskey. Can we get back to the whiskey? Good job on the mixed drink.
There's
Your
whiskey
best
in there.
mixed drink you've ever made right there.
Yes.
Nice.
All it takes is a little Taylor. And let me just say, I'm super duper excited. And I won't say who, because I don't know if he wants me to put him out there on blast, but somebody near and dear to our hearts got me tickets to go do something this Sunday
Oh, yeah.
that I am super duper excited about. So thank you. You know who you are. I love you. Thank you so much.
We're going to go watch the Atlanta Falcons play the Taylor Swifts.
Yes! I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
I'm extremely excited as well.
I cannot wait to go see the Chiefs play the Falcons.
Very
Gonna
excited.
be awesome.
8:30 start, 8:30 kickoff.
Oh.
When I'm supposed to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Brooke and Coley said I should put Toomer's lemonade.
Well, somebody said that earlier.
Oh,
right
did
there.
they?
Yeah, Hobie Barty right there too.
Toomer's lemonade,
somebody
yes.
said that earlier. You had to use Toomer's. Now, you probably go into a diabetic coma from all that sugar they put in it. But
We only put 2 ounces in it,
all good.
or 3 ounces.
All right, so I was testing on a little Green
Yep.
River 1885 bourbon here while she was making her mixed drink. It's good. It's pretty good. I like it. But it's just nothing compared to their cask strength.
My hands are very sticky now.
Like their cask, that's good whiskey. I don't know what the price is. It's a screw top. It's a big old bottle. I guess this is a 1 liter. I don't know, it might not be. It just feels large. Yeah, it is a 1 liter. It says here in the glass. So a lot of whiskey in that. I don't know what the price point is. I think they give this bottle to us at Watch Hill Proper or something. I don't know. It just showed up. Bottles just show up. That's what they do. I've got that problem. I was in there at the bar going through. I was like, where'd these bottles come from? I have no freaking clue where these bottles came from. This was one of them. And I like it. Here, try this. See what you think of that.
Hobie Marty. You know who that is.
I know who Fun Mart 6 is. Got 3 Rock Hill Farms at Canadian MSRP. Lord have mercy, man. That is a fantastic score. I don't know what Canadian MSRP is, but if it's MSRP, I will take I can take a couple of cases of them for sure every year. Every single year, I'll take a couple of cases.
That smells good.
It's really nice. And then you get to try this right here. Jonathan Marshall never gets a shout out. And I'm not giving Jonathan Marshall a shout out today. I will never, ever, ever say Jonathan Marshall's name.
Where is Jonathan
Appreciate
Marshall?
you, Jonathan. He's down here with a sad face emoji.
Aw, Jonathan.
All
We're
the way
so
up in
sorry.
Maine.
In Maine. I love Maine. That's my dream trip. Like, that's my bucket list that I've never got to do. Never got to go on a trip to Maine.
Don't be breaking your sad stories down to me. What'd you think of this?
It was a little flat for me.
Yeah, it's not. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
It's a
but
mixer.
It was a
It's
little
good
flat
mixer.
for me.
It's a good mixer. So somebody was asking if this was the half price Kentucky Owl. It's actually below half price, I think, MSRP. I always see these like $300. I got this. If somebody told me I could have probably got it for $99 if I would have really tried in Tulsa. But yes, this is the half price, and you can see it's also the half empty. And if a bottle around here gets half empty, like we're thinking about coming up with an award for every bottle we finish, because it is so rare for us to finish a bottle inside a calendar year from opening that bottle, just because there's always some random bottle that shows up and we've got to try. So we're almost always trying something new. If something gets drank this much, it's usually because it's good and it stood out in some way. And this Kentucky Owl Batch 12 is a really nice package. Like, it is just a caramel bomb. Nice consistency to it. Like, that's a beautiful whiskey. I don't want to pay $300 for it. Don't want to do that. I don't think it's worth that. Do not think it's worth $300. At 100, a little over 100, I'm happy with that purchase for sure. John Lambert, love your stuff, man. You got me into whiskey. Appreciate it, John, and I apologize for the damage it's done to your bank account. Tim Lambert breaking out here. Shout out Jonathan Marshall. So he super chatted for the shout out.
Ooh.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good bottle.
That's a good bottle.
That is a nice bottle.
Mm.
Terrible is an understatement, Justin V says. Terrible for what? Oh, I don't know what he said. It's terrible. Can't keep up with all the chats. But shout out to Jonathan Marshall. Uh-oh. Maximo was watching the stream on his phone. Girlfriend heard Taylor Swift mentioned, and now Jill has another female stream convert.
Come on, my ladies. Come on. We
Could
can
not
do
tell
this.
you how many ladies came up. Like, it's our audience, if you look at our metrics, are 98% male. And I know a lot of fellas are watching this with their families, you know, with their wives. And so you see a lot of guys come up and their wives are like, hey, we watch you together. Some of them are like, okay, I can tolerate you while my husband watches you, or I'll sit there and watch TikTok while he watches you. That's fair. That's understandable. But they're surprising how many of the ladies actually came up and they were into the channel, and their husbands were like, yeah,
I watch.
So it was really funny at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. That probably happened at least 4 or 5 times, which is not a huge number, but surprising nonetheless.
Ryan's dad has a signed guitar from Taylor Swift.
Ooh, okay.
Well, Ryan, that's awesome.
Natty Witt says it's because I'm too hot.
You are hot.
So that all the ladies are into
Yep.
it. I know. That's why I can't lose any weight. I can't, if I get too skinny, I'm going to have to beat them off. I'm going to carry a pitchfork around just to
I'll
jab
have to
at
never
them.
let you go anywhere alone.
I know. Can't do that. Can't do it. I can't.
Yeah.
Dad has a signed guitar from Taylor Swift. I need a Tom Petty guitar. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Not a signed one because, it's going to be hard to get one signed. I need one of his guitars, one that he played. I need a Tom Petty Rickenbacker that he played.
Yeah.
That's
you love some Tom Petty.
That's where we're going to go with.
I would say that's your.
I know I've made it
pretty
when
much
I pulled that
favorite
off.
artist.
If I pulled that off, that's how I know I've made it. Got it done. Josh says, do you like the new Maker's Mark Heart release? I do. I do actually like that. I got to try the new release of Cellar aged as well. So Seth on the team got one at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Excuse me. Waited in line for hours and hours and hours. Got a Cellar aged, not real good. It's not. I don't even want a bottle. I was like, I'm glad I did not put any effort into getting one of these bottles because last year's is far superior to my palate. Been a while. Actually, I'm going to get this Cellar aged out and I'm going to try it just to confirm if it is better or as good as I remember. But the Heart release was really interesting. I enjoyed it. Oh, he said this was a $20 bottle. So this is a distillery only. Bourbon Dad says the Green River is a distillery only and bar sales only bottle for $20.
Oh, wow.
It's good, just local. For a mixer, that's fantastic. For $20, that's a fantastic bottle. That's what it's a mixer. It's a mixer bottle. Tate Wood, what bottle should I try from the ABC allocation drop this month? Fitz 10 or Old Forester Birthday? The Birthday, absolutely. The 10's good though, but the Birthday, 100%. I didn't realize that. I figured there was something up with this, but that's actually really, really, for $20, a liter of that.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you could beat that. Like that's competing with the benchmark stuff, the low proof benchmark stuff at $20, and this is a liter. So hard to beat that for sure.
You know what would be really good right now? A sink in here that I could wash my hands at.
Well, that would be nice, but there's one right in there if you want to go wash your hands.
Right in where?
The other bar right over there.
Yeah, I may have to because
There's a bathroom.
I don't think I can.
There's a bathroom right next to that that's got sinks in it. There's a bathroom in the bedroom in there that's got sinks in it.
I'll be back.
Upstairs, there are a plethora of sinks throughout the upstairs of this dwelling. There are lots and lots of things. I'm going to grab that Cellar aged, though. Let me catch up on the Super Chats. Have you guys had a chance to try the Rainfire bourbon yet? If so, thoughts? My fiance enjoys the channel and likes Jill's input. She thinks she's fun. I think Jill's fun as well. And I appreciate your fiance watching alongside you. I have not had a chance to try the Rainfire bourbon as far as I can recall. Appreciate the support there, Tommy Phillips. And Kyle McNamara says, love the channel, been watching for a year. Keep up the awesome stuff. You talk about the social aspect of whiskey and sharing. Any advice for how to start a local group and try and share pours? So it depends on where you're at. The best way to do it, the easiest way to do it, is to find a bourbon drop you've got to wait a little time in line for. And that's how we started the group that used to come over here. I'm sure we'll get back together. I've just been on the road a lot this year, but just met folks at bourbon groups or bourbon drops and started inviting the cool ones to things and, get together every once in a while and share some pours. What?
My microphone was still on, but I just washed my hands. That was all I did.
Did you just go pee?
No, I just washed my hands.
Everybody could hear your mic. Did they mention it?
Grant did, yeah.
The Dickel Tabasco barrel pick. We do have the Dickel pick over here, though. Jill has tried that one, hasn't she?
Yes.
Did you try our Peerless pick?
I don't know.
You haven't tried our Peerless pick? Ooh. Here, you want a little samples of. We've got 2 high rise. This is the bourbon we picked. If you want to try it, while I grab that cellar age, up to you.
I don't have another Glen.
Here,
I have the Brewzle.
I want you to pour me a blind.
Okay.
We've got Maker's Mark cellar aged from last year,
Good grief.
and we've got the heart release right here.
Who in the world put that on there?
Me, with my man strength.
Okay, well, can you undo it with your man strength? Okay. Wow.
I got to put this one in inventory before I forget it's back there and it's not on the list.
Got to keep you at home.
I know.
That combined with your gorgeous good looks.
The man strength, that gets you going.
My hand hurts from trying to open that.
That Peerless pick, every time I go back to it, it's so freaking good.
Oh my gosh, what is this?
The Peerless pick. That's the bourbon. We've got 2 high rye bourbons. They're normal low rye bourbon and a rye, and that is the low rye bourbon. We didn't get samples of the other ones. They didn't have them available. But I keep going back, and it surprises me how good it is every time we go back to
This
it.
smells like...
Heaven.
Yeah, like,
That's what she was about to say. Yeah.
it's like frosting, like vanilla frosting.
I see where you get some of that. I don't know if I'd
Some of
characterize it that way.
That's all it, like,
Sniff your,
what in the world? That is
is
total.
that a dirty Glen?
It had other stuff in it
Yeah, okay.
before.
Yeah, it's not that frosting forward.
Really?
I don't think so.
It is. That was like,
Let's try that again. Like that smell. Yes, this smells wonderful,
yes, it does.
but that's got that Kentucky Owl rimmed around that glass right there. That's why it's so caramel forward. This is not that caramel forward. I mean, it's got some
Whatever
caramel
we
on
just
it.
put in that glass, somebody needs to make.
That was the Kentucky Owl, but then with some Peerless in it.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, no. Yeah, that is not that again.
Yeah, that shows you what that Kentucky Owl
Man.
smells like, doesn't it? What's the best way to develop a palate for bourbon? Any pointers? I recently got a Blanton's and an E.H. Taylor. I mean, that's a good start. Those are great bottles of bourbon, but you want to diversify a little bit. You want to try a bunch of different brands. When you sit down to have a pour, instead of having one full pour, have 2 half pours. Try something completely different. Read other people's tasting notes. Start to see if you can pick up some of those things. That's really the best way. Just drink whiskey and always be comparing 2 different pours.
That's really good.
It's a disappointment after the smell of that last one, though.
It's not, no. The taste is really good. The smell is not as good as the whatever that I did over there, but it tastes good.
It's a really good bottle. Come to Canada in November for the Spirits Festival, Jamie says. It sounds like fun, Jamie. Nah, I got to work out this year, unfortunately. Okay, a child is trying to get in touch with you. In opinion on Amburana finishes, I'm not a huge fan of Amburana. I will say, for me right now, the best one I've had is the Elements from Redline that they were releasing at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. So Andy, refrigerator whiskey guy from Indiana, if y'all remember that, he had one. He let me try. That's probably the best one I've had thus far. That's the one that's much more cinnamon roll. It's like an Amburana honey, so it's kind of like a Rio. I like it better than the Rio that I have. Still not something I want a bunch of, but that for me would be the best one I've had thus far. How many ounces do you consider a pour? However many ounces it takes, man. I need it filled up to the bulb here somewhere, you know? I usually am not measuring. I need enough, I need a good mouthful to get a good taste. That's all. So 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces maybe, if you want to, if it's something really good and you're just going to enjoy one. I want to say it was the Elements Amburana honey. It might have been the Hive. Whatever they were releasing at the KBF, really, really good. All right, Jill. Do you need to deal with anything?
Nope, we're good.
Okay. I want you to blind these 2 for me right here. This is the Hearts And this is Maker's Mark Cellar Aged from last year. Blind those up right there. I will be right back. And I'm going to try this Peerless. Oh, I really like this. I'm going to pour it into my Infinity Blend right there, but that's really nice. All right, blind it. Keep them entertained, Jill.
Keep them entertained. You're talking, right? I'm blinding.
I mean, I can talk. You blind away.
All right.
Y'all ever wonder where bottles come from? Do y'all have that? Y'all probably
delicious.
don't have that problem. I will let y'all know it's become a problem because I went on a road trip. I went to Houston and hunted, picked up some stuff in Austin. I come back home, I go to Kentucky Bourbon Festival. I send that stuff home with Will, and then I go hunt, and I'm hunting like 8 days. I think I hunted 7 or 8 bourbon hunts up the East Coast, and I just. Maybe it's 7 or 8 the whole trip, but it was 5 or 6 of. So I buy a bunch of whiskey. I'm gone for 3 weeks. I come back, and I've got bottles, and I was like, "Did somebody give this bottle to me?" Because I didn't buy these bottles, and I don't know where they came from, and I hate like somebody gave it to me, and I just forgot about it. That made me feel bad. So I don't know where some of these things come from in here, and. I just don't remember some of these bottles of whiskey I've got sitting in here to process and figure out where they go. And that could be a problem. Could be a problem. Because...
Okie dokie, I'm ready.
Somebody's going to be mad at me because I didn't remember where I got the bottle they gave me. Or maybe I bought it and I just forgot about it. That's possible too.
That's possible too.
It's possible.
Likely.
It's not likely. I usually remember if I bought them in a hunt, anyway. All right. Tried any James B. Beam Distillers shares? Just got batch 6 at the distillery, 1 batch 3 in a unicorn. I've never seen that one. Mr. Hart Empanadas. Okay. That was hard. It's not just me. Mr. I Heart Empanadas. Okay. Because if you glance at that name, Tempanadas.
Yeah.
Tempanadas. It's like, that's what jumps at the word temp. My eyes go right to temp, and it makes it very hard to read. Has TJ procured any Still Austin Rye? No. We were supposed to go try some Still Austin Rye barrels for barrel picks the time before this past when I was in Austin, and they had to cancel. So I'm sure the next time I'm in Austin, we will... You remember which one's which? This was to the left. But you remember the letters. Okay.
I took pictures.
Gotcha. Mr. Hart M. Pandas. I almost said that. I really did. Okay. Nose. This one's better. D's better. By far. D is much, much stronger on the nose. You agree? Sniff those for me. Sniff them. Magna Cigar Blend worth $200. Early batches, very much worth it. The batch I have open right now, not my favorite for $200. $250 is what they go for around here.
Oh yeah.
But the early batches that I have, and I'm not sure it's early batch. The early batch that I had was fantastic. I would pay $200 for another one of those in a heartbeat. You'll have to forgive me for all that. I'm a little, like I said, a little sore throat. Not really sore throat, a little cough today, I guess, from, hugging up on about 300 people at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, I think.
Yep.
See, this is tough, though, on the palate. D, by far the best, no. On the palate, they're different. And so now you've got to determine which different you like, because it's not like the Angel's Envy where they're all the same exact thing and you've just got to pick which one of the same thing is a better representation. These are fairly different things. I think this heart is what a heart. It's like a French oak finish.
It sounds delicious. Caramel, chocolate, and maple. That sounds amazing.
Finished in virgin oak staves.
It sounds awesome.
Is it 99 MSRP for Booker's? I mean, I see it for that, but a lot of states have it for quite a bit more. Old Forester Birthday Bourbon 2023 or Antique 107 better? You put me on the spot there. I mean, Birthday Bourbon's definitely more rare, much more subtle. I would argue whether or not it's better than a 107. That's nice. I think that's the finished one. Hits the palate a little more harsh. A lot of cherry sweetness on that, though. Like, overall, a nice pour. Like, I'm not the biggest Maker's Mark fan. That's a nice pour of whiskey right there. What are you backing up for?
Nothing. Just watching
Then
it.
That one hits with a harshness that makes me think it's finished too, but it's could just be my palate. My palate might be a little odd today. One of the reasons I've tried to go back to some, see, that one definitely hits me like a French oak finish. That one definitely hits me like a French oak finish. So maybe this one's not. Maybe this is just the Cellar. Yeah, I mean, D is overall the better package to me.
D?
Yeah, and if I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Is there a proof difference in these?
I
Hold
don't know.
111 proof. 115 proof. At this point, my palate, not the most sensitive today, but I'm going to take D.
And what do you think it is? Do you want to guess, or you just want to say D's the one you like?
I don't think my palate's quite sensitive enough to tell for sure.
So D's the one you like.
I think D is, I'm going to go with the cellar aged on D. But like y'all see, I've had this one for almost a year now. You see how much I've drank the first sip I had. So I don't, and same thing for this. This one's new, but I've only had one sip of it.
D. Final answer.
D's better,
Okay, D,
but I'm not.
D's your favorite.
I think it's the cellar aged. Yeah, F just keeps giving me that kind of oak stave finish.
D is cellar aged.
Okay.
And F is the heart, whatever.
Funny, first taste, it kind of hit me with almost like a French oak finish. Like sometimes with French oak, you get a little caramel note, and I got a little of that note on it. D by far is better than F, and also D hands down, not even close, better than this year's cellar aged. Not even close. All right, let me catch up on the super chats. What do you think of the Heaven Hill grain to glass bottles? The bourbon's okay, the rye's okay, the wheater pretty decent. Like not like out of this world, go out of your way to grab one, but out of the three, the wheater, the red label one, is by far my favorite of those. Mika went bourbon hunting for the first time, got Eagle Rare, Weller Special Reserve, Buffalo Trace, and Old Granddad starting my selection. I think that's a great start to your selection. You got a Wheater from Buffalo Trace, hard to beat those. You got an Eagle Rare, a 10-year-old, cup of Buffalo Trace, so you're like 90 proof across the board. Old Granddad, don't know which one you got. Don't know if it's the 114 or the bonded, but now you're jumping over into a Jim Beam profile. So you bought 3 Buffalo Trace products and a Jim Beam product. You got a little variety there as well. Overall, I think you had a great day bourbon hunting. Jeff says, just opened the Crittenton single barrel double oaked and really enjoyed the extra proof it has over the Woodford. Keep up the good work. That Crittenton double oak, the one in the last release, or the last time we released it, was it the last? It might have not been the last release. It might have been the one before that. Really solid, underrated bottle for sure. I tell you, the last release, the bottle that was the most underrated. Did you try the Paul Sutton? from our last pick?
I don't know. I think maybe.
I think that's the bottle that has surprised folks the most. And I tried to tell people, I tried to explain to them, this Paul Sutton is a sleeper. Like people are, they're going to sleep on it. But it is the one that people have come to me the most that said, I bought the Paul Sutton and I was blown away by it.
Oh, really?
Like out of all the bottles we dropped, like some of them you just know are going to be good. And if you know they're going to be good and you get them and they're good, you don't come to me and say that. But if you get one saying, and you get it and it's really good, those are the folks that reach out and are like, hey, this one, I was iffy, I got it, was blown away by it. And that Paul Sutton was the one.
Do we have it?
Yeah, I'm sure we do. Should be right here.
Yeah.
My God. Cork's a little, I picked it up by the cork, and that's a little loose on the cork there, so we'll take
pick it up by
we'll take
the
some
cork.
demerits off of it for that. Yeah, that cork's a little on the loose side. Might have to slide. I may take mine and swap the cork with one of those others back there, but that's definitely a little on the loose side. I'll drink the rest of that one. Let's see, make sure we're catching up. Crittenden is cool, representing from Mississippi. For sure, selection over collection all day. Let's see.
Smells really good.
Roy says, I remember when Brewzle was real. What does he think, I'm AI?
I don't know. I think he's a little sad.
He's sad by the fact that I'm not real?
Well, I don't know. He seems to be upset, and I feel bad for Royce.
Should we get some counseling? Royce, why do you think I'm not real? Do you mean I'm artificial, I'm AI?
No, I think he
means... Or
means...
do you think I'm just lying about something? Give me some feedback, Royce. Give me some feedback. I like feedback. We get the best feedback. You remember when AA Ron was mad about dishwashing?
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
And guess what? I don't think you've washed dishes on stream anymore.
I don't think we moved in here, so we don't have the
the capabilities.
So it's not, it's not that we haven't tried. It's just that we don't have that. We do have a dishwasher in here, but I'm having a little electrical problem with the electrical system in here. And we are trying to work that out. We're trying to get that all fixed before we have the dishwasher. So, we might, Bourbon Dad. I would like to do another Cathead Distillery takeover before that event for sure. Appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks for hanging out. If you believe in me, then you become real. You just have to say my name 3 times fast, and I show up.
Ooh.
That Paul Sutton is one of the best bottles from all your drops, Mike K says. Like, it's so good.
Ooh, that is good.
Like, that's just easy good. So, lots of times when we're picking barrel picks, we want it maybe a little unusual good. We want it to be off profile. We want it to be this wild, different, crazy thing. This is just good. Classic bourbon.
That is good.
Like, just good classic bourbon. AA Ron was a good guy. I wonder what happened to AA Ron. We got so many AA Rons. But I wonder what happened to him. I guess he just gave up. I don't know if I've had the 2024 Bombergs, Jamie. I've had a few of them, but I don't know if I've had that one. The Reed letter will do things to let me hunt, let him hunt with me in Chicago. I don't know what kind of things he's willing to do, Jill. But Chicago was like a mob town, so we might be able to get some things done. I don't know when we'll be in Chicago. We had a thing with some Bears players we were trying to work out.
That was good.
That fell through, so I avoided it when I was passing through there. So we got to get back up and do that at some point. I don't know when it will happen, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point. So you ask for feedback on why somebody's sad I'm not real, and then they don't even respond. They just bounce on out. They're just gone. Like, what are we doing? AA Ron, there's AA Ron. I don't think it's the same one.
Nope.
I'm a chef and thought my palate was bad because I don't like wine. Got into whiskey thanks to you and can now confirm wine is a scam. Whiskey is king. Don't say that out loud. Wine, there's a lot of money in wine, and they're liable to just, start knocking folks out. They might get some of these Chicago folks start taking people out. That's so nice.
That is very nice.
It's so nice.
What is the proof on that?
How was the Houston Hunt? Houston Hunt was pretty freaking good. We bought some bottles of whiskey. Here's the thing about Houston. A thing I didn't realize. If you hunt Houston, hold on, I got some sinus drainage.
I am concerned about this.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to grab another cork for it. If you hunt Houston, have all day, because everything's 30 minutes apart.
Oh yeah.
Everything. So we ran out of time. Like we didn't have heart release is good. Somebody's mentioned in there, but I jumped. I saw it and I jumped. I pulled a Jill. I just jumped topics. We had a good time. We did run out of time though, just because everything was so spread out, and I had to get going. I had to be in Austin.
Yep, we were sitting there waiting in the hotel lobby for him.
Yep. Heart release is fire though. I thought it was good. Makes my Cellar aged a little better. 10-year built Ben Holladay. Man, my sinus strains is killing me here, Jim. 10-year Ben Holladay in the works? I would assume so, but like I think their oldest barrels are just hitting 8 years, so it's going to be a couple of years. Oh, that's good.
That is good.
All right, we've got our Infinity Blend right here. I think it's time for us to give this a little bit of a try. We have not hit Iowa. We did hunt in Arizona. I think we went out to Nevada and we came back through. So we have hunted in, or I have hunted in about 35 states. Some of them didn't make camera because like Virginia, North Carolina won't let us film. So Pennsylvania, any of the state-run places won't really let you walk in and film. So it's going to be hard to get those on camera, but I've hunted in 35 states last count. And so we've got about 15 more. We've got the Pacific Northwest, and then kind of across the top, was it Montana, North Dakota, and then down into kind of the Midwest. There's a couple of states, few states, and then we missed Illinois, and then we've got the Northeast, and then the Alaska and Hawaii we've got to get to. So there's still quite a few.
Looking forward to those.
Yeah, how do the drops work? K-Bone says. So you want to sign up to the Patreon, and we'll send out information on the details of those. But there are tiers, and each tier has different access and a different limit on how many bottles they can buy first time through. And then it gets to what we call open season. Now we have flat rate shipping for up to 6 bottles, and so you can buy, whatever your limit is. And then once it gets to open season, you can add a whole bunch of stuff. So it's a lot of fun. We typically try to live stream during them. I'm not sure I'll have to see what Saturday this drop is going to happen on, but I'm sure we'll probably, try to do something fun for that one as well. Tried your Evan Williams 12 yet? Tim, I've got an Evan Williams 12 open, and then I got that other one we just got in there on the bar. So I've tried this one. I've not tried that one. Now, that one's got like nice fancy gold wax. I'm not sure if that's original, but mine over there does not. But I do have one open.
We have not hunted Maine yet.
We have not. No. So I just made it all the way up to New Jersey. We did New York, but we did like Times Square. I did Binghamton, New York on this trip, so I got a little more New York because Pennsylvania just wasn't having it, so I went on up to New York. So we've really got to start in New Jersey and make the rest of the East Coast.
Yeah, because that was a question.
Yeah, Trenton. We did Trenton, New Jersey, and somebody was trying to be funny. I'm going to be honest. We're going to have to be a little more careful from now on about y'all's suggestions because somebody trying to be funny, trying to get me mugged. They were working on it. We stopped at a liquor store. We came in the back, so we went into this liquor store and we're like, okay, they're trying to be funny. They had like 4 bottles of bourbon and a Blanton's. That's what they had, the 4 bottles of bourbon and a Blanton's. And then I get out and I go to as soon as we pull around the front of the store, I'm like, okay. And we get to the next store and I'm like, there's no way I'm parking my truck on this street. There's like tweakers tweaking out there. There's like it's like 10 o'clock in the morning and people out there enjoying a 6-pack sitting on their front stoop. I'm just like, we're not leaving my truck with a bunch of stuff in it out in front of the store. So we noped on out of there and went on to the next stores down the list. We did find some stuff.
We noped on out.
We noped on out.
We noped on out of there.
Me and Nate noped hard.
Good.
Out of there,
I'm glad Nate was with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Nope.
Let's try this Infinity Blend right here. See how this tastes. Of all the things we've drank this evening right here, a little Infinity Blend.
We noped on out of there. That should be a shirt.
Nope.
We noped on out of there.
Just nope.
We just noped on out of there.
What did I think of the Tulsa? We found a lot of nice bottles in Tulsa. I mean, I was looking for the grain to glass stuff, so we did all right. We got a great deal on the Kentucky Owl. Like, I was happy with the Tulsa hunt. No disrespect, why is the Frey Ranch Uncut more expensive than the September drop that is on their website? Well, I mean, if they're selling it, they don't have to pay distributors or retailers. And so they get to sell it at whatever price they want. And so, but they distribute it into Texas. Texas has, certain distribution costs, taxes, things like that. So that, like realistically, if you find a better deal for the same thing, just buy it from them. Like, and that's not me being a smartass about it. Like, that's unfortunately the economy of whiskey. And there's just nothing we can do about it, right? There's margins the distributors take, and Frey is selling that pretty much directly. And so they can sell it cheaper if they want to. Oh, God. Okay, so here's the problem. The one the burnt hair single barrel comes through on that.
Okay.
You can still taste the burnt hair. Ooh. Do you think I should complete the Calumet series to hold for investment? I don't think those are going to go up in value particularly, I mean, I think they're interesting. They're fun. Do I think they're going to be a super valuable investment? I mean, they're MGP source whiskey. I don't think so. And Calumet doesn't have, like, I like those guys. They seem like really nice guys. And I just bought the Calumet 8. I was there when they blended that. But I just don't think they have a ton of hype behind their brand. And so I'm not sure it's going to be a huge investment. It's fun. It's a fun thing to have. I wish I had started early. I would buy all of them just to try. I think it would be great to have on the bar for a tasting experiment for somebody to be able to try the same set of barrels at 4 through 12 years. So I think it's great to have for drinking. Not sure it's going to have a great value as far as an investment goes.
That is the worst
definitive
thing we've ever done.
The burnt hair comes through, doesn't it?
That's horrible.
Hot Dog says put Benny's on your list of liquor stores to pick. Biggest liquor store in the state of Illinois. I'll have to check that out. We'll definitely have to keep an eye out for that. Oh, James asked the Calumet question again. I was like, am I behind? No. I'll get to that one here in a second. Thoughts on Blanton straight from the barrel? I scored one at MSRP at Costco opening, but waited overnight for it. Honestly, the best thing Blanton's makes, some of those single barrels, not all of them, the single barrel I have open now is better than most Stag Juniors I've had. So the Blanton straight from the barrel I have open right now is better than most Stag Juniors I've had. Not all of them, but better than most. So one of my favorite Buffalo Trace products, actually. So open that sucker up, give it a try. And then James says, or what series would you recommend completing for investing? Whiskey investing right now is a lot like baseball card collecting in the late 1980s. I started collecting baseball cards. I had a cousin that was really big into baseball cards, and he'd been collecting. He was a couple of years older than me. He'd been collecting for many years, really into baseball. And I started collecting in 1988, right? Problem is, everybody started collecting in 1988. Baseball card companies started putting out a lot of baseball cards. And so the problem is the only thing from the late 80s that's valuable from a baseball card standpoint is the stuff that was super rare and limited. The reason cards from like the 50s, 60s, and 70s are so valuable is because nobody collected them. People got them, kids got them, they played with them, they destroyed them. And so really good condition cards are very rare and limited from a time when, baseball was in its golden era, basically. And now you've got bourbon in its golden era to a certain degree, but everybody's collecting. Everybody's buying rare whiskeys and putting them on a shelf and looking at them, which means most things that you can actually buy will never be rare. Like a Van Winkle 15, never going to be that rare, because I'd be willing to bet 50% of them made every year are sitting on a shelf somewhere, if not more of them. And so the only things that are going to be super valuable are the things that are rare and obscure because nobody collected them, or because they're super rare and obscure. Now, there's going to be bottles that hold value. Weller Millennium, probably not. I mean, that may come down, but like Double Eagles and things like that are super rare, super expensive out of the gate, will probably hold some value. I don't know if they'll shoot up in value, but the things that are going to be super rare is maybe a small distillery that ends up getting fame later, and you've got some early stuff from them or something like that. And so it's really hard to pick and choose what's going to be valuable and not, but it's probably not going to be the stuff you think it is. There was a time there, during the pandemic, everything was going up in value, but it's peaked. And so if you're paying, $2,000 for a Van Winkle 15, I think that's about what it's going to be worth in a couple of years when you get ready to sell it. You agree? The lights stuck green on that.
I agree.
Didn't they? All right, appreciate y'all watching. This was a fun live stream. Had a great time. I will unfortunately not be live next Monday. After that, we should be able to get back to regular live streaming for at least a month or so. Next Monday, I am headed out of town. We bought a distillery, and we have to break down all the equipment and all the barrels and everything and get it back. And then we've got a ton of work to get ready for Brewzle Festival. Make sure you buy your Brewzle Fest tickets. Go ahead and lock those in. Start planning on hanging out with us on October 12th.
We hope you all can make it.
Gonna have a great time. We're releasing our own whiskey brand there, and some of these barrels we bought, I gotta get it back so I can finish that blend. So appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching. We will see y'all 2 weeks from today.
And that's when you'll get your next mixed drink from Jill.
The next Taylor Swift mixed drink.
Yeah. Put in the comments what you think the next era. What's the next era? What am I gonna do next? I'd like to know, any of you that know, what's the next one?
I don't know. No clue.
You don't know.
No freaking clue.
I know.
See y'all later.
Bye.